Hi and welcome. I'm just going to do a brief, well, I'm hoping it's going to be brief, a brief overview of the energies that are around us at the moment, these swirling energies that I spoke about in the last video, and particularly with the tarot cards, if you remember that last video, talking about the new moon in Pisces. The reason I'm getting pushed is because I think most of us are really experiencing this turbulence and this whirling around of these energies from these quite strong planets. Because when the planets move into a new house, a new astrology sign in the sky, what happens is that forward movement, that first movement is quite strong. And it changes the vibrations around that. It changes the energies around that. And I think that makes perfect sense. So we're getting a lot of swirl happening because we've had some big movements. We've had Chiron moving into Pisces. We've had Taurus moving, start again. We've got Uranus moving into Taurus. See, a lot going on. We've had the Sun aligned with Neptune, and we've also got Mercury, who is the messenger, retrograde in Pisces. So let's have a look at that. Uranus in Taurus. So Uranus is the planet of quick change and moving things in and moving things out, and also asking you to reconsider what you're doing in a big way by giving you these big glimpses about change and what's working and what's not working. And it's in Taurus, and Taurus is an earth planet. So a lot of the changes we're going to see is about our life. It's in the physical plane. So it's about how we live, how we make money, who our friends are, what work we do, how we interact with people where we live, even some silly things like how we dress and all of that sort of stuff. So there's changes about that. And that's just starting now. And what we're starting to see is glimpses of that. But remember, change, even if you're ready for it, it is unsettling. So we're getting these little tensions. And I think it's really important for us to be paying attention to that. And I gave you some advice in the last time about these changes. And I'm going to ask you again to work with them. All right? So despite the fact that these changes these changes may be challenges and maybe not what we're expecting, I'm going to ask you to work with them. And remember, we spoke earlier about these changes and all the planets being in a good alignment, and that's going to be true for the next couple of years. So this is a time of going forward and going with the flow. We've had our challenges and hard years in the last 2 years prior to this, and we're just at the beginning of a new period. Now, why I'm also saying the beginning of a new period is because Pisces is in the lunar, and in the astrological calendar, Pisces is the last sign. It's the 12th sign. So after Pisces, we actually start a brand new cycle. But I'll go into more detail about that when I talk about the supermoon, and I'll do that next week, because there's a lot that's going to be impacting on that supermoon. So this is what we are looking at with Uranus in Taurus, and this is going to be with us for quite some time. And change can also be tiring. So if you're feeling tired, take some time out, take some rest. If you can't take that time out, then be gentle with yourself and just nurture yourself just a little bit. Okay, so that's happening with that. Also, we've got Chiron. Chiron is moving into Pisces, as it is in Pisces. So Pisces and Chiron is all about teaching us. It is about the wounded healer, but it's actually teaching us how to heal and how to go through these lessons. So again, we're going to be in this stage of having change, and then we're also having some healing, and we're also starting to get some consolidation. So on one hand, so it is this whirl, right? Because here's some changes, here's some some consolidation, but overall we're going to feel like it's not perhaps too solid at the moment. Life's not too solid. Trust me, life is really solid right now. And all these changes that are happening, while they're quite turbulent, trust yourself completely and spend time with yourself, meditating, musing, in the garden, a cup of tea, whatever it is you need to do. And I spoke again about those oils in a previous video. Oils are fantastic. So if you've got some essential oils, trust your instincts, smell it. If it feels right, put it on your wrists, put it on a burner, put it on a hanky, whatever you need to do so that you're reminded throughout the day, and it will work as magic. Also quite nice to go to bed with it, on your wrist, a bit on your chest, a bit on your nose, and see how you go. All right. So Chiron is going to be teaching us a great deal about whether we are in fact reflecting our true self. So our inner values and how we're reflecting that in the world. Yeah. So you can expect then with Uranus and Chiron currently during the change, even though they're not in alignment, what we're going to have is they will be working together. So some of the things that you thought were right for you will now start to not be right for you. And one of the other things it's going to ask you to do is, if you've had a vision of yourself and what that vision of yourself should look like in the outer world, in terms of your work that you should be undertaking, or the job that you should be having, or the recognition you should be having, if it hasn't happened now and it doesn't start to happen in the next couple of months, then, sorry, the cat just... Then what you need to be thinking about is letting that go. Yeah, so letting that go. If something is working for you, stay with it. If it's not working for you, let it go. Don't push too hard. Work with what is working. Let other stuff that's not working, just let that sit, let that go, and trust that what you should be doing is going to be highlighted, going to be supported, and going to be given to you. So that's a change. So if you like, what we've got is Uranus working on the physical plane and bringing in changes. Pisces working on the emotional and the psychological plane and bringing in changes. So that's changes in mind and body, if you like, or physical and emotional, psychological. Then what we happened on the 6th, which is not that long ago, but it happens once every year around this time, is that the Sun aligned with Neptune. So it was highlighting Neptune, and Neptune is highlighting the Sun. The Sun is self, Neptune is spirituality, and it's also messages. So, and what's the interesting thing about Neptune is it's not obvious. It's all about the subliminal. It's all about the undercurrents. All about what lies below. So the Sun was highlighting that for all of us. So it's been highlighting the spiritual realm, and in many ways it's been highlighting the hidden realm. And what we had then was the new moon, and the new moon is also dark. So for some of us, we may have been experiencing quite strong messages or imagery about some aspects that we maybe didn't even know were there, or maybe we were hoping they were over and done with and we weren't going to see them again. But they're also being highlighted, and we're getting messages about that. And these messages that we're getting are, like I said, a little bit subliminal. And then, to top it off, we have Mercury, the messenger god, going retrograde in Pisces. And remember, the messenger god could move between the realms. That's why Mercury was so respected. So you've got Mercury doing a retrograde, which is going back and forth between the realms, what lies below, what lies above, and bringing forward messages. So there's quite a lot happening within that. Some of which will be easy to understand and some of which will not. So I just want to talk to you about that, because I called, my channel, if you like, Riding the Waves with Wisdom, and we are riding the waves. All right, the waters are a little bit choppy above and below. And so some of us will be feeling that choppiness. So we'll be feeling pretty rapid moves of emotion, perhaps, feeling tired, because the reason you feel tired, even though you're not too sure why, like I'm getting lots of rest, is because the physical follows the metaphysical. So we're having the movements happening in the metaphysical plane really quickly. So that's Neptune with the spiritual, and that's also looking at Chiron in terms of the psychological and the emotional, and the physical plane's got to catch up, and this is what we're doing. So that's why we're feeling a bit tired, because emotionally and spiritually those changes are happening, and then we've got to catch up, because physically we move a lot slower than the energetic self moves much quicker. So in some ways we're having to do a little bit of catch up, and that's also where you get this tension, because if you like, your energetic self is way ahead, working hard, looking to make changes, and now the physical self is catching up, and Uranus is coming in to help move that physical thing along. We should be starting to see quite clear glimpses of what Uranus has in store for us. And it might just be a little bit of tweaking about some things that might be needing to change. It might be some major movement. Either way, I want you to stay centered. Use essential oils, gin and tonic, cup of tea, glass of wine, walk in the garden, work out, meditate, whatever, have a spa, have a massage, whatever helps you stay centered, whatever helps you in terms of self-care. We're coming up to the weekend. This is a perfect time for you to take some time out with yourself. And we can work miracles if we just take some time out for ourselves. Okay, so I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to come back to you and have a talk to you about the supermoons. I'll do that next week, and the end of the astrological year, and the end of the supermoon season, and there's quite a bit to be following on from that. So even though there's not a lot happening in the sky, for some of us it's been quite turbulent. For those of you who have not experienced this turbulence, congratulations, just keep riding those waves. It is a great time. What's coming forward in terms of the changes is in our favor, and it is supporting us. But remember, sometimes with the Tower card, sometimes with Uranus, sometimes with Chiron, these things that occur when we first experience them, when we first look at them, they don't feel like they're supporting us. But trust me, they are. So don't fight them, flow with them, and welcome in whatever is coming in for you, because great things are coming. And remember, small things can be great. It doesn't always have to be a big change. A small opening can often lead to a major change. All right, take care, look after yourselves, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.